Hello and welcome to Year 11 News. In today's show we're going to be looking at Richard Nixon and Brezhnev and how they tried to bring peace to the world. We're going to look at events from Washington all the way to Moscow and how the two sides during a period of détente tried to avoid mutually assured destruction. Now the idea was that if they could limit the weapons but keep enough to destroy each other, then they would keep peace, because neither side would want to launch an attack because it would end in everybody being destroyed. This led to a number of treaties and meetings in which both sides tried to reduce the number of nuclear weapons.
Hey everyone, welcome back to News at 10. I have some reports about a treaty being signed between America and the Soviet Union. Rufus, please tell me more.
Yes, thank you, George. We've had some breaking news here in America as the Outer Space Treaty has been signed by President Johnson and Brezhnev. This Outer Space Treaty stops the arms race from spreading into outer space, as it pledged that no nuclear weapons can be placed in space by either superpower. This is a significant step in the Cold War, as it shows signs that the two superpowers might be able to solve their problems with treaties and agreements instead of nuclear war. I think this is good news to everyone's ears, as it shows that we might just avoid a nuclear war. That's all from me, George. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you very much, Rufus. I've had some more reports about a treaty being signed. Over to you, Charlie.
Thank you, George. To add to what Rufus has said, we have more staggering news. A non-proliferation treaty has been signed, meaning that the two main superpowers cannot supply nuclear weapons to other countries. This is hoped to make the world a safer place to stop more nuclear fallouts. Back to you in the studio. Now we can't do that.
Hello, this is Intercontinental News, reporting of a new revolutionary treaty called the SALT I Treaty. The acronym stands for Strategic Arms Limitation Talk, and in brief terms will be one of the most significant treaties the US and Russia will ever experience, with an underlying aim to reduce tensions due to past misunderstandings that we all know nearly led us to the destruction of our home, planet Earth. Reporting from Washington DC, we have the President of the US of A, Richard Nixon, who we managed to get a small interview with, as we know he is a busy man. So what follows will be an insight into how our country will be transformed soon by the SALT I Treaty. So, Mr. President, what are the main objectives of this talk, and how will they benefit our country?
Well, the main objectives of the SALT Treaty talk is to discuss how we will limit the nuclear weapons that have made our countries lose money, because we're trying to make as many as we can.
Okay. Can you explain a little bit about the Helsinki Conference, and how will that benefit the US?
The Helsinki Conference is to talk about security, cooperation and human rights, and how that our countries should treat each other and understand the frontiers of our countries.
As we know, the détente is the search for peace. Can you break it down to us what it means and how the average American will benefit from it?
Okay. The average American will benefit from increased peace and security.
Thank you. Following on from the SALT I Treaty, why has the US and Russia decided to stop the reduction of strategic ballistic missiles?
We have decided to stop the production of strategic ballistic missiles, as it's making our economies very weak, as we are spending a lot of money developing these missiles that will most likely not be used, and then they'll go out of date, forcing us to create new ones.
So there's an expiry date for them?
Yes, there is, yeah.
Okay. Do you think that the Helsinki Conference and the SALT I Treaty will be successful, and why?
I believe they will be successful in restoring peace throughout Western Europe and Eastern Europe.
And why do you think that would be?
As it will reduce the fear people may have of our countries fighting each other in the Third World War.
Okay, thank you very much, President Nixon. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Will, for that insightful interview. Now, I'm here 5 years after the SALT I Treaty of 1972, with the continuation of improving relations between the USSR and America. We have received news that in the Helsinki Conference there has been agreement for cooperation and a plan for an Apollo-Soyuz mission. Upon docking of our spacecrafts, our astronauts will shake hands with the USSR's cosmonauts to further enforce our cooperation. This marks a future filled with opportunities between our nations. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.
News has just come in that the SALT II treaty has just been signed. These terms include a limit of 2,400 strategic nuclear delivery vehicles for each side, a limit of 1,320 multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles systems for each side, a ban on the construction of new land-based ICBM launchers. That's it for now. Tune in later for more.
We have just had news in that the US Senate refused to ratify the SALT II agreements following the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan in December 1979. Over to you, Sam, who is currently in Afghanistan as we speak.
Hello guys, I'm in Afghanistan right now, where the Russians are attacking the Afghanistans to try and impose their communist nature and take their oil. This is a disgrace. And we as Americans will stand with the Mujahideen and fight for freedom.
Thank you very much, Sam. That's very insightful. It seems like detente is over.
And that's all from us. Let's finish there.